triggers. Triggers. Well, today I prepared a topic that is more optimistic, and it's another political topic. But let's find out who were the best politicians United States ever had. Yes. Well, I made my homeworks and I gathered here in a list some of the best which I consider they were the best in the field, in politics, with key facts, positions, and so on. We're gonna start with one of the best, in my opinion, which I admire very much, is about George Washington. Yes, George Washington. 1732 until 1799. He was the first United States president. He was the one of the founding fathers of United States. He led the Continental Army to victory in the American Revolution. Oh, okay. Set the precedent of serving only 2 terms as president. And he was the first who established a United States cabinet and a neutrality policy. Wow. George Washington, the first president of the United States. And let's see who was the second. The second one is the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson. 1743 until 1826. Well, he is the master of the Declaration of Independence, the main author, Declaration of Independence. And he was the one who completed the Louisiana Purchase from the French in 1803, doubling the United States territory. Well, some of you may know, but Jefferson was the one who founded the University of Virginia. He advocated for limited federal government and states' rights. Good. The third one, another president of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, 809 to 865. His key position was the 16th president of the United States from 1861 to 1865. He was the one who led United States through the Civil War and was the only that preserved the Union. One key fact is that he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, 1863, freeing slaves in Confederate states. Very important. And he delivered the Gettysburg Address, reinforcing democracy with new principles. Unfortunately, he was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth in 1865. So, next, Theodore Roosevelt, 1858 until 1990. was the 26th President of the United States from 1901 to 1909. Did you know that Theodore Roosevelt was the youngest president, and he became president at only age 42 after McKinley assassination? So he championated the Square Deal, promoting consumer protection, corporate regulations, and conservation. He was the one who built the Panama Canal, enhancing U.S. trade and military strategy and connection between Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. A major masterpiece of the 20th century. He won the Nobel Prize in 1906 for mediating the Russo-Japanese War. This was the fourth. Now the fifth one is another Roosevelt. Another US President, Franklin D. Roosevelt, 1882 to 1945. He was the 32nd US President from 1933 to 1945. Did you know that he was the only United States President which was elected not 2 times, 4 times? Yes, he was elected 4 times and he was the only one. One of its achievements is that he led the nation through hard times of the Great Depressions from 1929 to 1933. In 1933, he became president when the big crisis almost ended. But with the New Deal, he started to rebuild political and social the nation after the crisis. And another great achievement, emblematic, is he guided the United States during World War II until his death in 1945. Another highlight that's worth mention is that Roosevelt Franklin established Social Security and welfare programs. Next, Harry S. Truman. He lived between 1884 to 1972. It was the 33rd U.S. President. He was the one who ordered the atomic bomb, the atomic bombings over Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945, leading to Japan's surrender and the official end of World War II. He initiated the Truman Doctrine, countering Soviet expansion in Cold War. He was the one who launched the Marshall Plan. A Marshall Plan was the plan after the war that U.S. offered to aid and rebuild Europe. He led the United States into Korean War from 1950 to 1953. Next, Dwight Eisenhower, 1890 to 1969. He was the 34 US president from 53 to 61. But what he was consecrated by in the World War II as an Allied commander, leading the D-Day invasion. D-Day oversaw the creation of interstate highway system, and he was the one who enforced desegregation in Little Rock, Kansas in 57. Good. Next, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, 1917 to 1963. He was the 35th President of United States, succeeding Eisenhower. From 1961 to 1963, he was the youngest elected president at the age of 43. He led the U.S. through the Cuban Missile Crisis in 62, avoiding a nuclear war between United States and Soviet Union. He was the one who pushed the civil rights legislations and started the Apollo Moon program. He was assassinated in Dallas, Texas in 1963. Next one, Lyndon B. Johnson. Lyndon Johnson lived 1908 to 1973. He was the 36th US President from 63 to 69, succeeding Kennedy. Major facts: he signed the Civil Rights Act in 1964, ending social segregation. He expanded Social Security and Medicare through Great Society programs, escalated US involvement in Vietnam War. He declined to seek re-election in 1968 due to the Vietnam War backlash. And now, the last in our list, another US President, the 40th US President, Ronald Reagan, 1911 to 2004. He was the 40th President of the United States from 81 to 89. Well, he led the Reaganomics, cutting taxes and deregulations in industries. He was the one who strengthened the US military and pressured the Soviet Union, contributing to the end of Cold War. He survived an assassination attempt in 1981. He is famously for urging Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. In 1987 Berlin Wall speech. So Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. I have a great admiration for Ronald Reagan. Well, this is my opinion, my list with the best US politicians that coincidentally were all of them presidents of the United States. And of course, you may see and you may read that these leaders shaped the US history in a significant way, leaving lasting legacies in politics, economics, and global affairs. Because we are at the end, I will ask you to point in the comments which one is your favorite one and why. Thank you very much for watching, and of course, until next time, I wish you all the best. Bye bye. So,